Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Unfinished Business. This is episode 36. The gang's back together. I don't know why everybody's laughing. There's nothing out of the ordinary
Howdy,
going
y'all.
on here.
Okay.
I try to keep it together.
Nothing weird going on here. The boys are back together. We got all four of us. We're vibing.
Back down.
I bet you can't guess what we're going to talk about today. The European Open
Disc
happened
golf.
this weekend. We're going to talk about disc golf. It's insane. Gannon Buhr won. Kristin Tattar won. I guess we'll talk about the details around the question and that. We're going to play a game as always. We are going to talk about the European, what is it? Disc Golf Festival. I can't even remember the name of the tournament next week. We'll make picks for that. We're going to have a grand old time. I'm yapping. What's everybody up to? Let's go ahead and get straight into European Open. We'll talk about Kristin Tattar, Silva Sarnen, Evelina Salonen. Who fumbled the bag the most in FPO? That's what we're starting with.
I'm going to go with Silva. She fumbled it big time. All she needed to do was not double bogey those on the last day, and she had it. So I think she was the most consistent all week long. So that's going to be my guess. She fumbled her best opportunity of really showing the world that, yeah, I've been playing really well lately, and it's not a coincidence, and I can do it in major. And she could have done it on, like, home soil. So, yeah, I feel bad for her. But, yeah, good for her. You know, good showing, but she fumbled. So.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely fumbled. Tyler's right on both of those. But, yeah, exact same thing.
I know I'm
good
right.
showing. Good showing. We're here, and she still took a second place. She didn't fade off into oblivion or nothingness, you know. So, I'm at agreement with Tyler. I absolutely agree.
I gotta disagree. It's not like the hardest disagreement, but you know, I like when we talk about like Ricky winning last week. Like, oh, a good formula to win is have a bogey-free round, right? The formula to lose is have a birdie-free round, like Evelina did in the last round and lost 14 strokes to your eventual winner, Kristin Tattar, after going into the final round 3 strokes ahead. I mean, it's just an absolutely generational collapse, I will say, from Evelina in the last round. A solid 908 rated round in the last round. Just throwing some discs like your local MA3
Matt, she would have
section
still
would be a good
smoked
tournament.
you.
No,
I
man.
mean, I would like to see that happen.
Tyler,
We need to get Matt
7
out into Nokia, Finland. Somebody fund a trip.
7 OB throws. I can't even throw far enough to get to the OB. So it's not really
He's got
an
a
issue
point.
now, is it? That does hurt, you know. Typically, we know her as the lady getting herself inside of C1 and C2 and then just failing at putting, and then instead we had this happen. So pretty unfortunate.
Where she didn't get inside C1 or C2 and also failed at putting at the same time.
Also failed at putting.
And it's not the
Working
first
all the way
time
around now.
Yeah, and it's not the first time she's done this either. So I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, Kristin was down, what was it, 8 or 7? 7, and she won by 7 over Evelina. 14 strokes between the 2 days. I wonder what it was after a second round. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I mean, crazy. I don't know. I didn't really watch it in depth. What was it for Evelina? She just went OB and she couldn't keep it straight.
I did not watch either. I do have, so after the second round, it was 1 stroke. Kristin was at 10 down. Evelina was at 9 down. I got to say, I'm also very surprised that both Kristin and Evelina's like surprise blow up rounds were both at the Beast versus the Tampere course, where it kind of seemed like the narrative all week was going to be the opposite. And that's definitely how it played in MPOs. Like you really needed to not lose the tournament in the first couple rounds, where we definitely saw some folks really try to lose the tournament at the Beast this weekend in FPO. So it was, I was going to say, I didn't watch it. If you're unaware, I think you would have had, at least my time zone would have had to be watching at 2 or 3 in the morning to watch the FPO. So a little unfortunate there. Although on the other side, I'll selfishly say just waking up at like 7:38 and just having the full MPO round to watch was very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, I mean, it's even, her average putt was 8 feet. 9-footer, 3 feet, 3 feet, 6 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet, and a lot of these are going in C1 where she's just like, so she's not helping herself either wise. Otherwise, it'd be great to see some more stats like we used to have on UDisc to dig through there, but it's unfortunate for her.
My question is, did Kristin really just give her and everyone else false hope after Saturday though? right? She played really bad. She wasn't in control. So they're like, oh, Kristin's out of this. All we got to do is play average, and we got it. And then all of a sudden, Kristin
didn't play average.
No. Nope. So I wonder if there's a little bit of like reverse psychology indirectly, not intentionally by Kristin, but it happened. I mean, Kristin is just like, she's showing she can win in all facets. Like usually she's like, if she's a front runner, she's going to win. But I don't think we've ever had her make this large of a comeback ever. So now she can put that on her "this is what I've done so far" a list, and she's like unbeatable, dude. I mean, she I was gonna say something, but that's not correct. But she has an opportunity to take 2 more majors the rest of the year. Looks like she's in control. The one thing I want to say about Evelina, Rick, real quick, and then I'm done yapping, is it's crazy to think she could have had the first 2 majors, and we could have been we could be talking about today, is Evelina going to hit the grand slam of winning all 4 majors this year, like Kristin did last year? But things have changed, and now we're back on the KT train.
Yeah, it's crazy how quick that happens too. Where not only like it's not, the narrative isn't like, is Evelina like, you know, I don't think we would have been saying like the new number 1, but like a serious threat, like can win at the majors too. I think just because of the nature of the last round, like not even a thought in my mind of like putting Evelina like serious contention to like number 1 player of the world or anything like that.
Yep, pretty wild.
I know Matt had posed the question. I was going to pull it up. I have way too many screens open. I think the gist of the question was, did Kristin win the event or did Evelina lose the event? Am I correct in saying that, Matt?
When you hear what Corey thinks.
That is. What do you think, Corey?
Evelina definitely lost the event.
Yeah.
I don't think this is real, but wouldn't it be really funny if Kristin and Silver were sitting at dinner and he was like, hey, wouldn't it be hilarious if you like just bombed the next round and then saw if you could win still? And then she did.
Yeah.
Obviously that didn't happen. There was like mistakes made, but she shot terrible round 2 and then just
round 3, but yeah.
Round 3. Wait.
Yeah.
I mean, round 3 still wasn't great overall, but yeah, the third
round 3, she shot like the 8 over or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, okay. I thought that was round 2. Sorry, I was on a beach in Myrtle. So
I was on a beach this weekend too. So
I was not paying attention.
That's crazy.
And round 3. Round 3, she just tanked, and then she still did her thing.
I will point out too, I was just gonna say real quick my piece. I was completely the opposite before, where I was like, Kristin should not have won this tournament. Like I really think Evelina lost. But I will say in the final round, Kristin did shoot tied for the best round that the FPO played this weekend at the Beast, which is kind of, I think, swayed my opinion the other way, where, you know, obviously Evelina blew up, but given that still Kristin, you know, came back after shooting a horrible round 3 and, you know, shot tied for the hot round for the entire weekend at that course, which is impressive.
It was definitely one of the most bizarre leaderboard changes I've ever seen in all of golf.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything.
I definitely woke up every morning like, what is happening like in this division?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'll pose a really quick question and then I want to move on. I was just thinking about how every time we go over there, the Europeans do really well. So if the FPO was in Europe the entire time, would we have a reverse where it's all about the Europeans all the time and the Americans are kind of like the Europeans when they come over to the States?
I don't think so.
No? You think you think the
I think it's home court advantage. I think if the Americans got the rest of the year to practice on these courses, they're still going to be just as good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a thought.
I kind of think the opposite, because even like obviously the European women do well over there, but even still, like Anakin is one we've been pointing out as like on this meteoric rise, and she was 17 strokes off the lead this weekend. I think I don't know if there's that much home court advantage to it. I just think that, you know, we have prominent players that are coming into their own now, and it's just the FPO game itself has grown so much that I think we're seeing that more in Europe, which is why they come over and play well. But I don't know. I don't know how much it actually factors into it.
Yeah, the thing I'll say is what I've seen from every single European course is just a kind of distinct way of playing disc golf. Yeah. Where like people like Missy Gannon was still third place, but like people like Missy and Own, I almost don't expect to do well there because it just feels like a drastically different style than what I see them win, you know, week in and week out. But I can't say that 100%. There's still tough wooded courses in the United States. It's just like wooded and elevation and fairways and this and water hazards. Like everything's getting slapped in these European courses. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, think they're doing exactly what I want them to do, which is build up the earth to make like landscape. Mm-hmm. It looks so good, and that's how you make moguls. Okay, I had to add it.
He's not wrong.
I had to add it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, well, that's FEO. I think we'll move over to definitely a little less roller coaster in MPO, but still some drama there. Gannon Buhr takes it down a total of 35 under. Setting 2 course records in the same day. It's got to feel good for Gannon. Really kind of balled out in rounds 2 and 3 on Saturday. But I'll just have the blanket statement for you guys. What is your biggest takeaway from European Open and MPO?
Paul McBeth and Ricky might be back. Paul McBeth. Paul McBeth is Paul McBack. Okay. Other than the fact that apparently Paul slipped across every tee pad he ever saw.
That is true.
Don't understand how that's happening. Those were such the weirdest clips ever. But I mean, it's like the combination of the, hey, here's the new guys we're worried about being Gannon, Buhr, and Isaac Robinson, just pinning in the old guys who can still hang around and play well. Ricky was on a tear. The final round was insane to watch him play. And then what's that whole, Gannon goes OB on 10, I think. And you're like, oh crap, there's a chance this can happen. It was chaotic. I mean, Ricky's going insane. To go 14 down through 17 holes is really, really insane there.
Yeah. I got to jump in real quick and just say my biggest takeaway. I really thought I'd be catching some more flack by now by Tyler or Scott or somebody. I haven't. The easiest out in the world. Paul would have won by 6 if it was a normal tournament. Obviously, he's old. He's injured. He can't play 36 holes in a day. That's the only reason Gannon won. Otherwise, just wrap it up for Paul. No, honestly, I do think it's heartening for me to see Paul still play so well under that circumstance because we've seen him this year have trouble finishing rounds. So I feel a lot better about his stock towards the end of the year, just knowing that. I also think that this is sneaky, in my mind, going to be a very good preview for the World's courses, just in that, I think Tattar is not a direct 1-to-1, but a pretty open style still woods course like your New London. And then the Beast is going to be a little bit more open and scoreable like Ivy Hill or the golf course there is going to be. And I think that can really be proof in the pudding of who we're going to be talking about comes World time, which is like in less than a month, which is still crazy to think about. But, your Rickies, your Pauls, your Isaacs, Chris, obviously Gannon, like I think those are the names you're really expecting to hone in on going into this year's Worlds. And I think this is a really good preview for that as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Taylor, when they did the President's Cup and Paul McBeth finishes the day 14 down through 16 holes. I don't think I texted the group chat, but I almost texted the group chat, and then I was like, I can't jinx it.
If Paul McBeth does anything like this,
yeah, I was like, dang, does Taylor know what he's talking about?
Now, what's going on next year for Worlds? Is it just the Beast, or is it both courses?
What we just did is going to be Worlds next year.
Okay.
From my understanding, it looks like maybe the Beast is headed out over time or something like that.
It's still to be determined, but they are like a good bit of the land for the holes. Like I know a good bit of 18, they're putting in like a swimming pool and parking on that property, which is like, if you actually look at like where it is in Nokia, Finland, like it's not where your typical disc golf course is, like kind of off in some land that nobody really uses. It's like in the city center of like Nokia Finland. So I think that's one, like why you get such good crowd participation and why you see so many people there, other than them making it free, which it should be for most disc golf events. It's another rant, but just because of how centrally located it is. So we'll see. I know that's going to be a big question mark. They have it locked down for Worlds next year, but I think after that it's a little in question.
What if at the end they like give the trophy away and then they just like demolition like a fireworks show,
actually just blow it up?
I would say, going back to what you said, Taylor, I actually I understand what you're saying about Paul Macbeth, but like I'm actually disheartened because like watching him not be able to keep up with Ricky and Gannon was like, oh man, it's like watching Tiger Woods right now. Like, he cannot keep up. I don't know. That's obviously not like to the full extent of what Paul is right now, but it just seemed like Paul back in the day could, like, he was invincible. Now he couldn't keep up with the young gun. I'm really two things. One, really impressed with Gannon because he had the storyline of Ricky and Paul on the lead card with him, and he didn't let the old dogs pressure get to him, and he took advantage of the situation and said, you guys are in the past, I'm the future, and I'm going to win this thing, and absolutely shredded. And he looked like he was in control the whole time too. Yeah. Like Matt said, he went OB on 10. Me personally, I didn't feel like he was in trouble. It was like, okay, he's going to bounce back, because he just usually doesn't put himself in trouble like that in these kind of moments. So that's one. Number two, I brought it up last episode. I'm going to bring it up right now. I am so disappointed in Calvin Heimberg's play. Like, the caliber of player he is, after round 2, he was tied for 78th at +7. He still cannot figure out how to not shoot himself in the foot after the first 2 rounds of these major tournaments. And so, again, we're just going to continue talking about, okay, is Calvin going to win a major? Is Calvin going to win a major? On our Instagram page, I put one of 3 options. One, is Gannon going to win Champions Cup next year to complete the career Grand Slam? Calvin win a first major, or Ricky win another major? And what's crazy is that we got to wait till next year for the Champions Cup, and yet majority of the people voted Gannon winning Champions Cup would come first before the other 2.
You'd have to win Worlds as well too, right? For a career Grand Slam?
Yeah. Yes, correct. And then everyone voted Ricky winning another major, which was close second to Gannon. And then I think one person voted that Calvin would win his first major. That is just astonishing to me that nobody has faith in Calvin on winning not just Worlds, but a major anymore. So I hope Calvin is hearing all this and figures it out. I have this reputation of blasting people on here and then them going out and winning. So I'm already putting in my vote for Calvin winning Worlds this year, because I am blasting him to the moon, and I am so disappointed that he's not in the mix. So I'm done with my rant.
I am excited to see him play New London.
Yeah,
I'm really curious. I don't think we got any real coverage of Calvin at Tampere. I would love to see like what went wrong, because I feel like in my mind, like, it may be not like set up as like, you think of Calvin as the first guy when you see that course, but I definitely don't see that course and think like, oh, Calvin's going to struggle here, sort of thing, which I don't know. It very much surprised me that he played so poorly. I do got to shout him out though, because he came back hard at the Beast.
20 really under the last 2 rounds. 20 under the last 2 rounds is impressive.
He did his best out there after Tampere, but yeah, something about that course was not kind to Calvin at all. Sorry, Corey, I cut you off when your takeaway.
Corey, speak, young man, about your takeaway.
I legitimately was not saying anything.
Oh, you must be saying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Here, let me throw one more thing on blast here. Listen to a couple different podcasts today, Grip Locked and Staggered Stance, which I typically don't listen to Staggered Stance here. But Hunter Thomas saying, wow, Gannon Buhr was really throwing that 2-toned FD like crazy all weekend. And Trevor going, I don't think that's an FD. I think he was throwing a forehand. Bro, half of those FD shots are turnover shots that are like fighting back to flat. You think he's throwing an FD on those shots? What?
He's got touch. He's just got insane touch.
Dumb?
Gannon Buhr, the renowned Heiser flip guy. He doesn't throw stable plastic. You know, he really just loves those neutral discs.
Neutral, understable discs that kind of just flip up and turn the whole way, but then magically fight back.
That's coming at Hunt Daddy.
I was like, the fact that no one on Grip Locked is smart enough to go, hey, yo, you really think Gannon Buhr's the one throwing an FD for his like crank over shots? I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? That's my last thing on that. It was just so funny because
thank you guys for watching the podcast previously sponsored by Foundation.
Yeah, I mean, we all like a little drama though, so it's fine. But no, that was my last thing on there.
No, yeah, I gotta throw one more out that like I genuinely think obviously luck is a big part of winning a tournament. Gannon got so many lucky breaks in round 3 and 4 though, and obviously like he got some bad rolls in round 4 too though, but he caught some flags and street lights and kept him in bounds on a few shots.
Street light was wild.
He got some good breaks out there.
I think you think that would have stayed in?
No,
not at all.
No, I don't think so.
Nah, physics. I think it's funny though because Gannon always talks about how Isaac is so lucky, and I hope Isaac gave him a lot of flack. He was like, "Bro, that was lucky."
Yeah, you got some good breaks. And I will say, just to wrap up, just our takeaways. I am very, very, very glad we did not have to sit here and talk about a hole 16 for 30 minutes because they got there. Obviously, the pressure's different. They all clutched up. They all birdied it. We didn't have to talk about it, and I'm very happy that we don't have to talk about it.
I need to talk about it for like 30 seconds. Hopefully it's 30 seconds. Okay. I just want to say that.
Timer.
And thank you. Everyone, I apologize last week. I was misunderstanding on how the drop zones worked. That hole is the dumbest hole I've ever seen in disc golf. The fact that you can go OB, and have a bogey putt from 45 feet is absolutely atrocious. So, like, what's the whole point of the hole? I thought it was you played, dang it. You threw your shot, and once you're in bounds, if you miss the island, then you go to drop zone 1, and then if you miss the island again, you go to drop zone 2. The whole thing is stupid. They need to make it a hazard if they're going to do it that way, in my opinion, because it's so easy. Throw it OB, and then you get a straight shot from 300 feet. You don't even have to worry about the angle, right? Because you could be at a bad angle on the right-hand side. So dumb. I apologize. I was ignorant to how that whole hole worked. And I'm just the next person to say that the PDGA is dumb.
Okay, well, I hate to continue the conversation here.
It's dumb.
The PDGA just denied their request to keep it the same.
It doesn't matter. It's their fault then.
But the tournament director still could have built a different hole.
Doesn't matter. They're dumb for getting involved.
PDGA is dumb for getting involved.
PDGA shouldn't own solely all 4 majors. That's all.
Listen,
to be clear, I'm on the same boat as Taylor. I don't necessarily think that's.
I wish UC would have stuck it to the PDGA and be like, fine, this isn't going to be an officially rated tournament. If you don't want to consider it a major, everyone else is going to consider it a major except for you guys, so you guys can stick it.
That would have been a rough look for the PDGA if they were like, oh, never mind, we'll just be an X-rated, I hate saying X-rated, like it's an X-rated tournament, but it's an XM.
Everyone would have known this is actually a major, and like if Gannon wins and the PDGA doesn't consider it a major tournament win, the whole players are going to be up in uproar about it. So UC could have done a power move, and I think he should have. He should have stuck it to them and be like, fine, give us an X. We're going to keep it this way. This is the way it is. So
yeah, I think he obviously wants to bring Worlds there next year. He's got
I think it's more the Worlds thing.
He's got all the media. He's got all the media rights to his tournament. So I hope he does whatever he wants. But
live your truth, UC. I'll throw up on the screen right now for those on the stream little picks update for us here. The first pick being Calvin, maybe a little questionable in retrospect, but you can't blame Corey for that one. But I think, the totals, Matt had a big week, obviously majors being ×2 points with picking Gannon to win, got 6 points there. Tyler had Ricky on the podium, and then I'm back on the dark horse streak for one, and I had Paul on mine.
Dude,
Yeah,
Lori
Matt Bell
went
and Lori
all-
Letna was one stroke. I didn't
I
realize.
thought
till
Matt
the
Bell
end,
had
but-
it. That's why I was like, I'm not even going to look at Matt. I know Matt's got this. And then Lowry came out of nowhere. It's like,
Yeah,
come on,
had a good final day for me. So that is the points updates. Tyler's still in the lead. Matt made some motion happen. We're tied for second now, and then Corey's down there at 17. But I have nothing but faith in Corey.
I'm
for
gonna
the rest of
I'm
the
gonna say
season.
something about. I'm not saying this to be blasting Corey, but Corey was up 14-11 over Taylor earlier in the season. Corey's wheels are spinning.
He just needs Aaron Gossage to get it together this year.
Yeah, he
And
actually
I think that's
does.
going
That
to
would-
be
Didn't even
a
pick
big
Aaron
move.
Gossage this week. So
No,
Chris was close to, and obviously Nicholas
Corey-
as well. You had
Corey
good
got-
picks, I think.
Corey got bad luck this week. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way,
between Chris and Nicholas, they were both in like
Yeah, they're right there.
for
The
the
I
entire
was
time.
kind of
So,
criminal he didn't get mentioned. Nicholas missed a lot of questionable circle one putts this weekend, like a lot.
I think he's just on one of those non-heaters, whatever the opposite
Yeah.
of a heater is.
In a
He's on the opposite.
cooler.
Call that a stinker. That's what they call it.
Stinkers.
Yeah.
And
he
by the
might
way,
be on one.
Quick shout out to Chandler Kramer with purple beard and purple hair. It
Grimace,
looked
that's my guy.
Looked wild.
Yeah, bro's going crazy.
One more thing about MPO real quick. Did you guys hear about the cough gate?
I
With
didn't hear about the
Gannon.
cough gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Corey, did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Is Gannon bad guy or not bad guy?
Well, I heard that the guy was escorted out by tournament staff after the fact. So I think
It was
that
definitely
objectively makes
a
Gannon
like a
good
tough
guy.
look in the moment where Gannon's like yelling at the crowd to be quiet after he like airballed one by a solid 15 feet to the right of the bat. Like it was not a close putt, but I think knowing the background information after that, it was definitely like some intentional noise going on because you couldn't really hear it at all with the commentators blabbing on the broadcast. So I think just knowing that after the fact, it makes a lot more sense that is obviously very frustrating when you're trying to take down a major.
Have you guys ever seen A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger?
Yeah.
There's a part in there where one of the other actors is like going on this giant rant about how awesome Heath Ledger's character is and everything. And everyone in the background does not speak English. So like in the actual movie, they go, yeah, and then everyone roars. And I wonder if no one knew not to talk because no one was speaking English.
I'm sure they know.
Yeah, they have to know. I would honestly say they sound like the most respectful. I feel like I hear the most noise to dead quiet after watching European events.
There's an American guy in the crowd that was coughing. That's what it is.
Yeah, it was him.
It's like Paul's brother, bro. It's the crowd.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's European Open. I had this in here as just a small aside topic to, I feel like this always comes up after a big event and then we have another event on the weekend after. I know distinctly in Ricky's interview, like Terry was asking him some questions about the crowd there, and Ricky was like, yeah, I've got all these kids, it's crazy coming up wanting my discs, and I'd give them to them, but I gotta play again in like 5 days. I gotta like get ready for this next event. So I definitely have my stance that every major should have a week off. Like the day after the Super Bowl should be a national PTO day for everybody, but I just wanted to get you guys' opinions on that. Should we be having another Disc Golf Pro Tour event the weekend after a major? Bless you.
No, I think it should be like a Q series. Something that we can still pay attention to if we really wanted to watch, but it's people that either need to keep their card or people that want a card. And we should be focused on that and let the major pros just have a weekend off.
And I think at that point, it would also probably less incentivize pros that already have it and are just going to take a win from playing. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think, am I not right that if you don't have a card, you still get points even if a pro with a card wins or something like that?
Yeah, there's
I
some
believe
ruling
that is
there.
the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it doesn't affect them, but it's just a way to really focus on up and coming talent versus.
And I'm sure the players, sorry, I'm moving my camera as I talk. I'm sure the players really enjoy playing right after playing in this tournament too.
Yeah, I'm sure they're.
Yeah,
they're
but
very
when
pumped.
you guys said something about the festival, I thought you guys actually meant a festival was next week.
It's the European Disc Golf Festival, baby. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I could be capping on this. This is what's going to be the European Open next year, right? With the European Open courses being
I
Worlds.
don't know.
I'm not sure either. I don't
I
have the data on that
believe
one.
that's the case because everybody's playing. Like nobody is taking this event off, and I'm pretty sure it's because this is what are going to be the European Open courses next year. Maybe Scott knows in the chat. Scott, if you're in
But I
nowhere.
think Paige is going to win it this year because it's the festival.
She could have good
Yeah,
vibes
that
going
helps.
into it because it is a festival.
Dude,
She
she
needs
just
to
made
win it.
peace with her. She just made peace with that
The
bridge.
bridge.
So she's like
Yeah.
set. Now. She's totally zenned out.
Yep.
All right, well, that bought me just enough time. I'll bring up here our screen for picks. So I'm going to use that to go straight into picks for the European Disc Golf Festival. As I said, pretty much everybody's playing, so you've got the full field to choose from. And we do now have Corey bringing up the rear in last place, so you, my friend, will get to decide the order.
I don't freaking know. Well, it bit me in the butt last time going first, so let's go Taylor first, then Tyler, then Matt, then me.
All right, I got first pick.
I also don't. What's this tournament called?
I can send the PDGA link in
European
Discord.
Disc Golf Festival. Straight up.
All right, I got it.
I'm gonna pick Richard Wysocki for a revenge tour. I have no idea what courses they're even playing on, so that could be like the worst. I feel like Ricky's pretty unanimous to all courses. I don't think he's got a real weakness there, but yeah, I think he's gonna have the revenge tour.
All right, hold on one second.
He's gonna be fired up.
What's the order again?
That is me, you, Matt, Corey.
Taylor. All right. Come on.
Darn, Scott's not sure either. I was
All right,
banking on
so-
Scott being
No,
eyes
I
on
was
Scott.
trying to fix the spreadsheet. I'll do it in a minute. All right, so you took Ricky right off the bat, right?
Yes,
Yeah, he
sir.
We know anything? Just give me Niklas.
I don't think we know anything, unfortunately.
We know nothing.
Do we know anything?
I watched part of a practice round today. It looks like a little more open. But I
Dude,
didn't see
Matt
anything else.
is like a
He's
fiend of
locked
disc
in,
golf.
man. He's locked into the content. I love
And
it.
look what's happening. Look at the run I'm going on right now. Obviously, give me Gannon Buhr, man. Bro's blessed me up multiple weeks in a row. I need to.
Yeah, kind of criminally falls to 3, but I just have a feeling Rick's gonna have that revenge tour, man. He's gonna. Be
I do
mad
think
he
Rick could have
lost.
the.
Rick was one of my favorite picks to pick. All right.
Or you got back to backs,
Right.
my friend.
All right, Mr. Kramer.
All right, I'm going to go with Simon
Love that.
Okay.
for no reason at all, just because it's Simon. And honestly, just like me being the underdog, I'm going with Calvin.
that is crazy.
Hey, I
here.
love that. I love that.
I could see Calvin popping off.
Just because it's not a major. So he's like, all right, I
right.
can win again.
Yeah, he does this too. He bounces back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's coming off 2 good rounds. The last couple of rounds of the Beast. He's got momentum, if anything.
Okay, I'm gonna take one Kyle Klein.
You want to take 3?
I thought he was like low key in the mix this weekend.
He was.
I
I know I
fully
ask
out of
this
it.
every single time, but what's our dark horse? 40 and over?
40.
40.
Okay.
Yeah.
So weird. It's just really just crapshoot at this point. Who's gonna pop off? I am going to go.
Well, you should probably go Fritjof Fagergren.
Oh, dude, I watched a lot of coverage with him.
Yep.
Good player.
He's watched his. He's got his YouTube channel.
I'm gonna go Ezra Robinson.
They are not playing. They've already gone back.
Yeah.
I was headed that direction myself.
I was tricked.
I lied. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. You're a liar. I get it. Isaac Route. No, I'm just kidding.
Matt's dark horses last week, man.
Is he playing? You know what? Fudge it. Paul Macbeth.
Hey.
Okay. All right.
Fudge it.
I got back-to-backs here. I was gonna pick both the Robinsons, so now I gotta figure this out. I'm gonna take James Proctor.
Nice.
And I'm gonna take Matty O.
Nice.
I was gonna grab Matty O.
No very specific reason.
I will go. Gosh, dude, I'm so bad at that. Am I about to take Corey's team from last week?
My team from last week.
No, not literally, but I will go. You know what? I'm gonna do a thingy. Where does the stats? Give me a sec. No, you're not gonna let me do that. Hold on. Who did really well in putts gained last week? Paul Macbeth, Casey White, Proctor, Kramer, Corey Ellis, Tom, Ricky. No one I really love. Why do they have C1X?
And we're going to take this time to talk about today's sponsor, Foundation Disc Golf. And they have a new app.
Wait, tell us about the app, dude. You've been
the app.
What's your experience with
the app? The app is actually pretty cool. Has anybody else used it so far?
No,
I have it on my phone. I downloaded it.
The only thing that I can't, maybe it's just I can't find it yet, but their website has that really cool thing where you can pick the flight numbers and it'll tell you like discs.
All right, Chris
Dickerson.
Dickerson.
To that. Jerk.
Yeah.
He was doing such a good ad read for us.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if that's on the app yet. Most likely it's going to be on there, but I know on the website you can do that. So outside of that, the app is really cool.
I off rip thought the app was straight up just the website until I saw the wish list and all the other stuff in there. I was like, that's actually good. Give me Ezra Aderhold. Not great after his weekend, but I think he could go do well on this course. Distance helps here.
All right, now we got Corey with the last pick and then a dark horse. I'll say in the meantime, really quick, just to fill some time too, I am so disappointed once again in PDGA Live in that players such as Paul Macbeth, Isaac Robinson, and a few others did not have stats for round one. Just don't have stats.
Matt, who'd you take?
I just took Ezra
Aderhold.
I'm going to go with Aaron Gossage.
Love that.
We just watched a video on his Instagram and in one of his vlogs with Ezra where he just blows a drop zone sign out of the water, just rails it. So that was cool. I don't know. I think it's just one of these times he's going to get it and it's going to click and then he's going to, oh, this is how you win. And then he's going to just,
I think first it's got to be, this is how you putt. And then it's, this is how you win.
Yeah.
I don't know. In his practice rounds, he putts really well.
Do you guys think he loses because he only throws the disc with two fingers?
Yeah, no. direct alternative actually.
No, I don't think so. I think it's more or less he still has that like beginner mentality when it comes to like overthinking things.
I was gonna say I think he's a head case
in his head, yeah.
Because when if you watch the practice rounds, when he's putting, he hits 90% of them.
Yeah.
But he's just it's that like I don't care kind of putt, and then when he gets to the course for the actual tournament, he is all up in his head, and it's ridiculous. And speaking of festivals, I'm going to go with Greg Barsby.
The Barsby Tingles.
The Barsby Tings. Yep. I love that.
Yeah, me too. Matt.
All right, no, super confident in this, but I'm going to take it. Give me Albert Tam.
I wish he was better because
I wish he was too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
I wish I was better.
Same.
I wish he wasn't available on my dark horse list. I'll be honest.
I'm gonna go with the same guy I took last week. He's a good tight woods player, Matt Bell.
I like that. I'm gonna go. I almost took him last week, and he was actually above Lowry at the European Open. I'm gonna take Mauri Vilman. If you are locked into European disc golf, this guy is on a heater right now. He is playing very, very well. So there's your picks. I have Ricky Wysocki, James Proctor, Matty O, and Mauri Vilman. Tyler's got Nicholas Antela, my goat, Paul Macbeth, Chris Dickerson, and Matt Bell. Matt's got Gannon, Kyle Klein, Ezra Aderhold, and Albert Tom. And then Corey has got Simon, Calvin, Aaron Gossage, and the Barsby Tingles. I also like that the way I have this kind of like laid out and formatted, if you have the live open, it also looks like we are professional disc golf players just as a part of this list. So that's probably the closest they'll ever be.
Yeah.
So
And we're all first pick.
Yeah, we're first pick.
Shout out to us.
Thank God that my goat will never have any confusion on our listing of who that is.
Also, it almost looks like Taylor, you picked Tyler, Matt, and me.
Yeah.
Hey, I
Meanwhile-
could have a come up on the points.
And we have
why are
a
you going
crazy
vertical?
lineup. No, I
don't
respect
know,
it.
man.
I respect
don't
it.
know.
It's easier to type across, man, and you always know your dark horse very, very in the last
True.
part of the list. We respect it.
All right, switching up the order. We usually do picks last, but I just kind of wanted to switch out here. And now we've got nothing
Is it time
but
for games?
I think truly fun topics. So we've got buy, sell, and then we've got games. So
games.
we love games here, but buy,
I
sell
love games.
first. We got the game coming. Don't worry. I'm going to go ahead and start. I've said it already. I'm buying my take that Paul Macbeth is back. He's here. He's ramping up. It's a slow ramp up the whole season, man. He's so back. But no, again, I'm super. It was just good for me to see that he played 36 rounds and stayed in it, because that was my biggest fear when that round got canceled. I was like, this is a wrap for Paul, that they're going to have to play 2 full rounds in one day. So I'm glad that it didn't completely kill him. And he definitely like missed some weird, like 15 footers that was the same feeling, Tyler, you were mentioning that I was getting like, man, this is like watching my goat like fade away, just missing 15 footers. But I'm going to choose to be the optimist with Paul and just say that he's ramping. He's coming up. Randomly pick Corey. What are you buying this week?
I am buying forming fairways with dirt and putting grass on top of it.
I love the way you phrased that.
I know. I don't understand why we don't do that often. It's not. I understand that it costs money to like do things like that, but it's not that much. Like it's not hard to dig up some grass, put more dirt there, or gravel if you need to, and then put some grass on top of it. And it just looks 10 times better. I also, while I was in Myrtle Beach, I played Pop Stroke, which is Tiger Woods' new putt-putt, like realistic looking putt-putt course. Super fun.
Yeah.
Everything is just all wavy and
undulating.
Stuff. It looks awesome. Yes, it's very undulating. But yeah, we need to do this more in disc golf, especially around the green. Make greens harder.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I genuinely wonder if it's just like a land ownership thing. Like, I almost wonder if they have more agency in Europe to say, like, hey, we have the volunteers that want to come out here and do it, or, you know, the equipment or whatever, and can just go in and, like, dig stuff up. Like, I don't know why it's so hard for us to, like, have some creativity in the States and greens and fairways.
I think what we need to do, whether it's a podcast itself, like on an off weekend or something, but we need to talk about who owns each property for every Pro Tour course.
Put the master list together.
Yeah,
yes.
And then if you don't agree with their decisions, we'll include their address so you can just send them.
Well, what we'll do is we'll start
them.
like a change.org petition of put moguls on your disc golf course, and then individually email that out to all of our contacts.
I don't see. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't want moguls on every course, because I want it to be something that's like this cool phenomena, like, oh my God, we're going to the course with the moguls. I don't want it on every course, but I want every course to be cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you, Matt?
For me, I'm gonna buy Kevin Jones in an unsuspecting way, because when I watched Kevin Jones in the
It's
bag,
probably a lot cheaper than Prodigy did.
it is a lot cheaper than Prodigy did. That's correct.
Price
but
is
when
down.
I watched his, the price is super down. When I watched his in the bag, I saw a side of Kevin that I've never seen before, and that he had every person who gave him a disc, their names memorized, where they're from, what disc they gave them, and individually thanked them. If he can create that relationship with fans, he doesn't have to be a good player. He just has to be a fun player who throws weird lines or does weird stuff that he already does.
That memorizes every name he's
And then-
No,
and then
it's
very
funny. I definitely
personable.
agree. There were a lot of like smiles and just good vibes from Kevin in that video, which
Yeah.
was like really nice to see.
Yeah, and I just never seen that side of Kevin before, and I don't know why I have not, because it was like I was like, oh, if he does this repeatedly, he will sell discs with his name on them.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm buying.
I mean, I've seen him in Jomez practice rounds. He looks like the happiest guy alive.
Yeah.
He's always having a
We
good
just
time.
need to get him on the top tier playing so that everyone can see the happiest dude alive.
Mm.
Yeah. He had a really good round 3. But I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yep, go
Yes,
for it,
sir.
Tyler.
It's funny.
I
that
forgot you were here.
I know. That's usually how it happens in my house too. It's funny that Matt brings up Kevin Jones, because I was going to say I am buying a very beat-in disc. And the reason why I say that is because I want amateurs, because I know there's a lot of them that watch our show. I want amateurs to realize that you should get disc and beat the heck out of them and stop buying new disc all the time. Because if you look at all these pros and in the bag, they're all throwing stuff from 10 years ago, or discs that they've been hanging on to and throwing for a very long time. Like, magical things happen when you do that. So anyways, I feel like it's an obvious, but maybe some people don't realize that. But I am always going to buy beat-in used discs over brand new plastic.
I
Watch,
was actually
watch
gonna
the
do a
video
similar
I'm putting
thing,
out
but-
Sunday. Shameless
Yeah,
plug.
I'll allow
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and start with the cells as well. I could probably just put Tyler's camera over mine for this, but I've reached a point to where I think I'm at the same place as Tyler, where I am selling the entire marketing strategy of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It is ridiculous.
Freaking stole mine.
It is ridiculous that, I don't know, we can go to Europe and we have a course that's in a metro area where we're not charging for tickets. We're just letting people come see disc golf. And it's crazy the difference that you see tangibly on coverage from that, as well as having to pay $5 extra to watch the European Open was lame. But we need to, it seems so gatekeepy to me that we're making like viewing professional disc golf so expensive when it's not as big of a deal as we think it is. Like, we need to be letting families come up. If you want to charge for it, give them like $5 for 4 tickets. That includes lunch. Come bring your kids, have a great time. But we need to make it so much more accessible than it is now. I'm having such a hard time convincing people that I know that are interested in disc golf to consume any professional disc golf content, because it is behind so many. Oh, you have to buy an app, you have to buy a subscription. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I miss the days when it was just all on Jomez on YouTube. Like, it just needs to be that level of accessible.
I'm feeling that too, to be honest with you. I wholeheartedly agree.
Mhm.
I'll do my sell. I got 2, but I'll try to make them both quick. I will say that I am selling. I don't even remember what I was about to say. Dude, that's a problem. All right, so then I'll move into. So I'll move into my other one that I was thinking that I have written down, because I thought of one right when we started the show, and I'm like, nah, I won't forget. But dad brain.
Happens.
All right. So my true sell is this. I am really tired of people talking about bad luck or bad breaks with a disc. Like, keep on hearing a lot of pros talk about like the rollouts, the way they skips, the way it catches edge. What I want to say is, like, I really don't want people to complain about it anymore. Does it suck when it happens? Yes, absolutely. I've seen Kevin Jones lose 2 tournaments because of the worst breaks of all time, and it sucks. But it's part of the game, so just accept it. Like, you know, people, how do I say this? In ball golf, like terrible things happen. You hit a sprinkler head with your ball and it goes shooting off. You hit the pin and it knocks it back off the green. Stuff like that happens, and it's just part of the game. So I'm really tired of pros specifically talking about bad breaks, unlucky, and I want to say, I guess, bad luck. Then I'm sort of like bad breaks and like really being like, oh my, like it's a problem in disc golf. It's not. It's just part of the game. So I'm just tired of hearing about it. Just remember my other one. Number 2, please, disc golf tour, European Open, whatever. Please pick the July date that doesn't correspond with the Open Championship of golf, because I'm going to be really truthful. I didn't watch any live disc golf this past weekend. I watched all the highlights and I watched all the Jomez coverages because I'm a golfer at heart and I wanted to watch the Open Championship because I freaking love that tournament because it's so unique. So I'm sure there's probably, I would guess, another 10% of people that are in my boat where we're golfers. We play disc golf just because we want to play more golf, and they probably missed out on more people watching live because of it. So please, for me, bottom of my heart, please change it for next year.
Understandable.
Hard agree.
Okay, good stuff. I'll take it from here. I'm going to sell what happened to Gannon this weekend on the final round, where he, to be clear, he could have thrown a shot before the hole to not go OB, to not risk that chance. But rolling to a spot where he's slightly OB and then there's a wall is like a really weird in between. And then in the practice round I watched with Ezra Aderhold, it's on every hole where there is a wall, right? And between the wall and the basket, there is like a tiny strip of OB, like legitimately like 4 or 5 inches, where it's like, it's so easy to just make the wall the OB there and not have some weird position where a disc is laying against the wall and it got the perfect tiny chance of being inbounds, like inside that area it needs to be, but in that tiny 5-inch gap to be OB. It was a little weird. I saw it once or twice this weekend. I'm not really as concerned about it this weekend, but it's upcoming tournament. I watched 9 holes and saw it on like 4 different holes. And so I'm like, that's just kind of a weird move. Why not just make it the wall at that point?
Yeah, I hate that. I can't remember what year it was, but there's a pretty famous clip of Simon having a drive land like in a par 3 island green that's like up against the wall, but there's a string OB lines like inside the wall, and his disc was like perfectly vertical where it was out of bounds, and it's so annoying.
Yeah. All right, Corey, it's you, brother.
I'm selling people thinking that there's such thing as too flippy of a disc.
Preach, brother.
I bag the Prodigy F9. If I tell people that, they laugh and they go, "Oh my God, what are you going to use that for?" That is like no one can use that. I wouldn't even give that to a beginner. Peasants. Well, guess what? I let my wife throw it. She bombs with it in her version of bombing. I mean, obviously she doesn't throw discs like we do, but compared to all of the other discs that I put in her hand, she rips it. And then I can throw maybe 60% power, have this crazy turnover, go like 360. That's a far distance for 60% of power.
Yeah, that is.
So I think people need to go back to the drawing board, especially people that don't play on the Pro Tour. Obviously, on the Pro Tour, you should know your bag. You should know what you can use, what you can't use. But for people like us, you should not be repeating every little thing that's thrown up on the internet saying, don't use this, use this, only use, 12-5 minus 1-3, or you're a loser. Like, no, find something, try and throw it. Find something, try and throw it.
Yeah, that's a hard agreement.
Yeah, Matt.
Hey, I'm a regular.
Exactly what I did. I'm a 9, and I love that thing.
I'm a regular 65% Mamba thrower, and Corey will tell you, I make those puppies look smooth with no power.
Yeah, but we did need to beat you up into like
It took some
I mean, we
convincing.
changed your entire bag.
I think I do actually. You guys caught me at a bad time in that scenario where I had
bad time.
It was a bad time.
My bad
It was a
time
bad
is
time.
Coincidence.
I couldn't throw it very far at all. I can still, to be clear, squeeze out a little more distance on a Wraith, but that's max power, slight Annie, like turning shot when I could just throw the smoothest, like mama shot and it'll just go.
You got stage fright in front of Taylor. We get it.
Yeah, but then
Happens
Corey
to a
saw
lot of
I had my
people.
redemption with Corey, and Corey will tell you.
Corey got so much
My
stage
redemption
fright he
was
didn't even
okay.
invite me to his trip. So
Yeah, that's
all
crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy, man. And that's why our
I'm gonna
sponsors
punch all of you.
And that's
and that's
Hey,
why our sponsors better help, so Corey can get some help with his stage fright.
Hey,
Talk to a licensed professional.
one quick thing. What is the one pro that is a big name that you haven't heard all season? I'll go first. James Conrad.
oh, that's a solid one.
That's a solid one.
James Conrad.
Yeah, no one's heard of James. And the only comments I've heard of James Conrad is, James ain't gonna like this T-pad. Yeah, this T-pad. The way
That's
this
his
puppy
legacy,
slows down,
man.
James is gonna be in trouble here.
Yeah,
That's
but
all
half
I've
of those
heard.
European ones had like a freaking runway strip.
I know. Help my boy.
I'm trying to look at the just the
Maybe
PGA list.
Chandler Fry, but I don't even know if I'd really qualify that as much.
I'm gonna say Joel Freeman actually 14 in
Oh.
the
Yeah,
world
there you go.
rankings. I have not seen anything out of Joel Freeman this year.
True.
I'm gonna say Anthony Bedanza. Like I haven't heard about that guy at all.
Where's he at, man?
I don't know.
Nowhere on the internet.
Someone needs to get him out of the North Pole, dude. It's not time to go up there yet.
It's crazy.
All right, well, there's our buy sell. We're gonna move into our last topic.
Games,
As always,
games,
I've got a
games.
game. I'm trepidatious about this game. I'm nervous. I don't know if you guys
I'm
are
not
liking this
letting-
much.
I'm not letting Corey win this week. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a perfect segue. I need you guys to take your mindset where this is normally competitive and everybody wants to win. We got to move. We got to shift here.
Are we
So-
playing with each other?
Yes.
Hey, yo.
It's still individual.
Hey.
It's still individual. But what we're doing here, this is less of like how much do you know about disc golf and more so how similarly do you think to me, which is a dangerous concept. It may be worse the better you do at this game. So I have 6 pros. I was working today thinking about disc golf as always. I have 6 pros written down that when I think of
Are we
this pro,
supposed to know the word trepidatious?
yes. When I think
look
of
that
this
up.
professional disc golf player, I think of a very specific disc that is tied to them. So I just have that written down. I have the pro's name
Feeling
and then I have the disc
apprehension or
that I
trepidation.
associate with them. I am just going to tell you the pro's name. You're each going to guess. And if you get it right, you get a point. But again, this is just for funsies. Nobody
How
get
are we doing
mad.
this? Out loud or over the? chat?
You can send it to me on Discord.
Can I ask the question? Does it have to be like with their current?
It is not
bag?
their current sponsor.
Okay.
Well, it is for some of the pros. It is, but it does not have to be with their current sponsor. It is just for me personally. When I hear this pro's name,
What are they known for?
this is the disc that I think of that's associated with them. So the first one, it kind of goes downhill from here. I feel like the first one should be pretty easy, but I have Anthony Barella.
Oh, I know this one.
Wait, Taylor puts his discount and affiliate links in his Discord. Ooh la la.
Check me out, bro. All right, we got 2 or 3 here. Matt and Corey got this one. I will say to Matt, we're gonna have to be a little bit more descriptive, but it is the highlighter green Luna that man is tossing all over the place.
Tyler, what
I
did
got
you
for
say?
him.
I said the Venom. That's his signature disc.
Oh my gosh, you're
Oh
not
my
thinking like
gosh.
Taylor.
Bro is literally not thinking like Taylor.
Taylor doesn't
gotta
give
get
a
in here.
squat about the Venom, dude. I
All
do
right.
though.
I think from here on, there's potential for you guys to rage at me for what I put, but we're just going to see what happens. That's why I'm nervous. But next up, I have Nate
Yeah,
Sexton.
thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Thank you,
Nate
Scott.
Sexton?
Nate Sexton. Papa Nate.
Okay, this is the.
And
okay.
it's not a mold. This is like an individual disc.
Oh. I got you. I threw that in.
Oh wait,
You happy with that?
I don't know if you're happy with that, Taylor, but I'm smoking crack. It's the closest I'm gonna get.
Corey just sent me Paul Ulibarri.
He throws him around all the time.
You're not wrong. You want that to be your true answer? You got something else for me?
Uh,
I'm curious to see what Scott will say for this one as well.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, if you're not in our Discord, please join. Often Taylor asks questions about his thumbnails, or Corey posts his videos, or anything else.
Got some fun stuff in there.
Got some interesting.
Or Matt throws out some really racist comments. So come into it.
No.
Yo.
You're allowed one time. You're allowed one time in the Discord.
All right. Nobody got exactly what I'm thinking of, but I think Matt's the closest. So I'm going to give Matt the point here. Matt gave me the 2015 Sexton Firebird, very specifically the one that has Hannah Macbeth's calligraphy, her name on the back of it. That was Hannah's that they gave back to Nate when Paul switched to Discraft. Was the
what
the
color
disc that
was
I
that?
think of? It's green.
I swear it's the 2017, but I guess I'm wrong.
I did watch the in the
I
bag
just
today.
put orange Nate Sexton Firebird because
Wait, was there, Tyler, has there ever been a run of orange Sexton Firebirds?
I don't know.
I feel like they're
No.
all green.
They're all color green.
The recent
green or
ones are
blue.
Halo, so
That's true. That's true.
They're green or blue.
yeah,
Okay.
I feel like he stopped, but in all his previous in the bags, he was telling the story of like he and Paul were stamping up Sexton Firebirds, and he had this one, gave it to Paul, and then it's just got. I mean, half of the back of the disc is just like a calligraphy, just Hannah. So it always sticks out in my mind. So we got Matt 2, Tyler 0, Corey 1. I think being low is solid here. If you do not have a brain that thinks like mine, you're probably doing well in life. Next up, I got the other side of the Nate and Paul equation. I got Paul Macbeth.
Oh man.
And this is what you think.
What I think when I think of Paul Macbeth,
Oh, yeah.
I think of a specific disc.
McPro Rock, but we have to choose the current brand, right?
Doesn't have to be his current sponsor.
No, it's just what Taylor thinks of.
What I think of. This one might surprise you guys. I'll put that out there. Maybe a surprising one.
Actually, I mean, I know a very specific disc, but I already put my answer in.
You can cheat. That's okay.
You can cheat, man.
And Corey sent me Paul Ulibarri in an eggplant emoji, so the DMs are open.
Maybe.
I if it's what I think it is, unfortunately, I don't remember the exact colored one, but
Matt's
remember,
trying to cook, but I this one's going to surprise you guys. Tyler and Corey actually got it, which I think is a little impressive. It is his black, specifically for me, the green floor claw zone that he was throwing, especially right after he switched. But
It almost looks like Monster Energy.
yeah, that's why it comes up in my brain all the time. So it looks like a monster can. But
He owns all 20 all black zones. It's pretty wild.
Not
But
really.
yeah, I respect the Matt sent me the Nova, which actually is up there for me and Paul.
I
but-
was going Nova and then Thunderbird, and
Yeah.
that was my listing.
I was with Scott there. I would say the McPro Rock. That's what I would think because you love that disc. Or I guess it's the Rock 3, but the Rock 3 is what he was whipping around.
The history of the rock molds will never cease to just confuse me.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna test here. I think Corey may know this one. We got some knowledge here. The next pro is Christopher Dickerson.
Yeah, but it's you.
It's me.
I can't get crazy here, but I know nothing else. I'm just taking that actually is a wild guess.
I didn't know how big a Chris fans we have here, but
I know like 2 or 3.
I
of
do
his-
have 2 down. There are 2 discs that are similar, but
choose your own adventure game. That's
Yeah.
what he's doing right now.
It's just which one.
I'll get. Yeah, Scott's got a no idea in the chat.
Oh, no. I got the wrong one. Hold on. I don't think it's going to matter, but I'm going to go with that one.
We're gonna see here. It really is how sick and twisted can you get into Taylor's brain here? Maybe so, maybe not.
I'm probably not going to get this right, but
I don't
this
know,
is
Kristin,
what
'cause
I
very well
think
you
of
described.
when I think of. Okay, I'm going to send this.
Send it, bro.
Are you thinking old or young or old?
Can't ask that question. Can't ask that
Well,
question.
I'm already no. I just off of your I've already sent it, but what?
Oh, that's
era?
honestly a good guess. So
What
it
era?
is the Prodigy era Chris Dickerson that I'm thinking of. I would have counted either or. He's got two Mario dyed D1s that he threw all the time. There was the one with the mushroom dyed on it, and there was one with the star dyed on it that he threw all the time. So that's what I think of. Corey's guess was the DGA Bonsai, which is actually funny because that would probably be next in my brain just because it's such a weird mold to bag.
Yeah,
yeah. It's his blue one. I distinctly remember it.
Yeah.
And it's basically like what slightly beefier Onyx.
Yeah.
It's something.
It's slower. It's a slower Onyx.
Yeah.
I think it's an 8-speed.
It is. But
I knew it was like a weird speed range.
It's crazy that he bags that.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got two left. Plenty of motion can be made here, at least in the score. But Kevin Jones.
Oh boy.
I'm lost in the proverbial sauce here. I think it was.
Do you need to know the plastic?
No. Your answer is descriptive enough. All right, Corey and Tyler both got this one. It is that red, unbelievably flippy D2 that he just was forcing on every drive he ever threw on like the most vertical hyzer I've ever seen.
I think it's like a.
Would you like to share with the class?
Corey's full answer was the D2 he stopped throwing when his stupid driver came out.
Yeah.
Which is very descriptive. I might catch some. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say that yellow F5 he throws, that was a big one too.
Yeah. That was probably second in my mind because he threw that disgusting forehand at not Maple Hill, but Brewster Ridge with that thing. It was gross. So we've got Matt and Tyler at 2, Corey at 3 with a slight lead coming into our last pro. I may catch some flack for this one. We'll see. It is Simon Lizotte.
If that ain't in, I don't know what is. I know it. Simon's. Is it?
It's so funny. You guys all guessed the same disc, and it's not the disc I was thinking of.
Okay,
we should take a second guess.
Yeah. For everybody, or at least for the chat, they all guessed the yellow and red PD, which is definitely an absolutely iconic Simon disc.
All right, I'm taking my other one then, Taylor. The second one I said.
Okay.
He had 2 of them.
I know what you're talking about.
No. Let me get. Is that a DD3?
Maybe.
Tyler takes the dub here. I'll go in order. Well, actually, it's tied with Corey, so I feel like I got to find some sort of playoff because they're up 3. But I don't know if I know of any other pros off the top of my brain.
You can give it to Corey because I didn't beat him. He's king of the hill from last week, so you got to beat the king. You can give it to Corey.
So in order, Corey guessed the P1 Ace, which is a great guess. Matt had thrown in the Eagle face stamped DD3, which is also a great guess. But the winner was the Elsa FD, the nice frozen die, which was pretty sick. There's an honorable mention. What I had actually written down first, because it was just what I came to first, was the Crescent Falcon 2, just because in the COVID era, that's like he had hundreds of those that he used for all his trick shot videos. Like those were all with that Crescent Falcon 2 MD4, but at least I decided I wanted to do it with what was actually in his bag. So the On and Elsa.
I found
FD.
a Crescent Falcon and gave it to my buddy, and he doesn't play any Discmania anymore.
That's crazy. He shot that back.
I wonder if I can get that back.
Yes, yo, can I get that?
Get that back.
Get that. That's all I had for the game. So with that, we'll just segue to, I don't know if any of those discs are available, but at least the brands they are for are available at foundationdisc.com. Huge shout out to them for helping us get together, put the podcast together. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Join in the live chat on Tuesdays at around 7:15 Central. Otherwise, we are also available on Spotify and Apple Music. Just business is booming over there on the podcast side, and we'll be back next week to talk about the Disc Golf Festival. We'll see if Paige takes it down with her festivities.
We need one more follower on IG for 100.
Hey, there we go. 5 more on YouTube. We'll give some stuff away. I'm putting it out there in the world. We get to 100, we're giving stuff away. You may get Matt in the mail.
I've got a lot of stuff.
You may get Corey's Marvel banner. We'll send it to you.
No.
Never mind.
No.
All right. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the next one.
Bye.